Stay home if you're sick. For God's sake, just stay home. I'm 6 months pregnant and can't take most cold medicine. But I just yesterday had a coworker come in coughing, sneezing, feverish, and miserable. He refused to wear a mask or gloves. So I wore mine. I refused to work anywhere near him. Yet here I am with a horrible cough the next morning. Just stay home. I think we'd all love to stay home when we're sick. If we could. And it didn't mean losing out on pay. Woman shrugging. I understand why they do it, but dang. It was infuriating that a co-worker came to work with a fever. Sat in the middle of 5 other cubicles because she didn't want to be alone. There were tons of empty cubicles. I ended up sick for a month. Had to leave work 3 times and it cost me $300. Yeah, you're not going to get my full approval to come to work sick. Stay at home, get fired. Okay guys, we get that not everyone can afford to stay home. But the least you can do is wear a high-quality mask to protect vulnerable coworkers and clients. When you do have to go in sick, especially when distancing isn't possible. The crux of the issue is with our corporations and employers. And of course the government, who does nothing to really make solid permanent change. However, that D should have been wearing gloves and a mask if only as a courtesy. F dickbag. I remember all of the boomer hard-ons over Cal Ripken and his father never taking sick days while Junior was going for the consecutive game mark. I wonder how many teammates and office workers he got sick during that time. Also, he didn't work half the year because he plays a ball sport for a living versus working in a factory. Stay home if you're sick. If at all possible, have some consideration for your coworkers. Staying home means no roof over my head. Coughing, sneezing, feverish, and miserable. This is like the flu that is going around. But it's also like the strain of COVID that is going around right now. Might want to take a COVID test to make sure. And then you and your doc can strategize on approach and meds. That said, I have that strain of COVID right now. And I'm staying home, in bed, sleeping most of the time. Most people would love to stay home when they are sick. You're mad at the wrong people. I wish we lived in an EU country with 6 months of sick time. Instead we get 0 sick days required by law. The least you can do is wear a mask if you are sick. Politicians destroyed common sense just to get votes. I got COVID for the first time ever this week. I haven't left the house since Saturday. I won't even be in the same room as my wife until I test negative. I mask to receive Uber Eats orders. Distancing is important for the health of the community. I'm wearing a mask, but I can't afford to stay home. I'd much rather be at home with meds and hot tea, burrowed under blankets and resting my poor, ravaged body. But then I won't have a home 'cause I won't be able to pay rent. Not everyone can afford to stay at home, nor do any of us have employers that will let us. If they could legally beat us and get away with it, they would. I fully agree. Nowadays a lot of people come to the office sick and say, "I'm sick but it's not COVID." As if giving someone a different virus is okay. Highly annoying. Side note though, most viruses have an incubation period of 23 days. So it probably wasn't this selfish colleague that made you sick. Unless you also worked close to him before he showed symptoms in the 13 days before yesterday. Stay home if you sick, come through if you thick. Some people can't afford it. Special thanks to the CDC for reducing the recommendation to 5 days. That translates to your employer harassing you at day 4 to suck it up and come in. regardless of how bad you are. Also, we can forgive PPP fraud no problem. But not student debt. That's crazy talk. Leave it to our capitalist system to find a way to exploit a pandemic for record profits. This happened last week at my company and we actually have a good WFH policy. He could stay home no problem. He just likes to come into the office to get away from his kids. He said he had a sore throat and wasn't feeling 100%. Another coworker said stay away from me as I am traveling next week for vacation. She sent him upstairs to do a COVID test. Negative. And we told him to not come out of his office and wear a mask. Honestly, there was no reason for him to be in the office as he could do calls from home. He isn't a boomer and around my age. Probably late 30s, early 40s. My last employer let someone in the office that had been in contact with someone COVID positive. They let this person work from home Thursday or Friday, then he was back in the office Monday or Tuesday. This coworker then left early Wednesday due to surprise showing symptoms consistent with COVID, which he later tested positive for. I was required to work from home due to being a risk for others, while my health and well-being didn't matter. I have Facebook messages from the guy, which is the reason I knew of the situation, and is the only reason I knew. Based on what I observed, they would warn as few people as possible if any potential outbreaks. Thanks, Bank on IT.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.